Hello, welcome to ESS BIZTOOLS overview of product packages which will assist accountants and bookkeepers to deliver a wide range of advisory services to assist your clients to run better business, make more money, provide for their retirement. So I'm going through our list of the product packages within ESS BIZTOOLS to find the SME Needs Analysis, because that's what we're going to be looking at in this particular segment. The SME Needs Analysis are very important because that is probably where many of you will start your conversation with your clients, because you will have to talk to your clients to get them to have an awareness that you can help them on a wide range of business matters beyond taxation. So I'm now downloading the content on the SME Needs Analysis. So I'm clicking onto the document and I'm going to create a new share. You can see that on your screen. So the SME Needs Analysis is there to help you have a conversation with your client, to sit down and talk to them about it. So what are their views on the current business performance? Are they happy with it? Do they need to improve their profitability or their cash flow? Would they like to know what the business is currently worth, whereby you use the business valuation techniques that we have included in ESS BIZTOOLS? If you could talk about how they can improve their valuation, you might want to minimise tax, you might want to introduce some systems to reduce their stress. And that could be team training, especially to the leadership team members, to have the CEO or the owner delegate some of their responsibilities. Are they happy with profit and cash flow? What about independent departments? Have they got independent departments, and are they receiving financial data for those? Or would they like to receive that? At times, you know, you're going to have a business that's not going too good overall. But when you really investigate, you will find that it's one department that's causing all the problems. And sometimes they can be huge problems, which I'll talk about in a presentation at another time of some of my experience in helping analyse business performance. So what's the financial goals that the owner has? Are they getting the information they require on ratio analysis? Do they understand what all this means? And within ESS BIZTOOLS, we've got all the material to do this. But this is your initial discussion with them. What about their debtors? Do they understand the debtors' age analysis? Do they ever look at it? What is their debtors' age figure at present? Many of your clients won't know. And if when you do the calculation you find it's 60 or 70 days, that's an opportunity for you then to talk about how you might reduce debtors' days outstanding, or at least encourage them to reduce debtors' days outstanding. Their budgets and cash flow forecasts, are they preparing them? How are they performing compared to their budgets? Are they doing that comparison each month? Are they getting monthly accounts? Are you helping them do that? Are they likely to have some problems with suppliers in the next 12 months, especially if it's suppliers from overseas? Should they be looking to do some diversification in suppliers? How are they going with the creditors? Have they calculated the creditors' days outstanding also? And in particular, the key creditors, the key businesses they're relying on for supplies. Are they making their payments to them within the stipulated terms that that creditor gave them when they opened the account for your client? Because it can be very dangerous to allow the payments to go beyond the negotiated terms with a creditor who could cut off supply, and your client might have difficulties replacing those supplies. That might be another comment that you could make to your client. What about marketing? Are they doing marketing activities? Now, I'm not suggesting that you necessarily assist them in their marketing activities. But if you're acting as a chief financial officer, you would bring that up as you would if you were working for a company. I was one, a chief financial officer in a listed public company. I can assure you there was all sorts of issues come across my desk. So I would have been suggesting that you would be asking some questions and perhaps suggesting that they go and talk to a particular marketing consultant that you can refer them to. What about their employee issues? Do they understand the Fair Work Act? Are they conversant with current changes that the government is proposing to make in various areas? Have they got a HR systems manual? Who looks after HR matters? Are they subscribing to organisations like Blackstone Business Group, who will supply the services for them? Or are they doing it themselves? If so, are they keeping up to date with it all? Customers. What are they doing with customers? Have they got customers advisory committees where they're getting feedback from their customers once a quarter by a Zoom meeting or a face-to-face meeting if they're in a situation where that can be organised? But these days they can hold a Zoom meeting with half a dozen of their customers, telling them what they like and what they dislike, and what they're seeing is being supplied to them by your client's competitors. Could they make some changes? What about your competitors? Within ESS BizTools, we've got material on competitors. So you could sit down and actually work through this with your client. Have them analyse their competitors. Have a good look at what they're doing. What are they doing well? There's no law against copying marketing or promotional or general approach to business operations. The only thing that ever protects anyone's a patent. If they haven't got a patent on something, your client can copy that, probably try and improve on it. But at times your client needs someone to open this up for a conversation. And the person who is their key financial advisor, which is you, is the ideal person to be raising these sorts of issues with your client. What about some business modelling, business building metrics? Sit down and show your client the changes that could occur if we increase the number of customers by 5%, if the average sale could go up by 4%, if the frequency of visits went up 10%. What about the change in markups? What would all that mean to the bottom line? And sometimes if you put that into your computer, you can get a fantastic result. Now, it's not to mean it's going to occur, but you could talk to your client about how these types of strategies might be able to be implemented. Some of that may require team training to improve their selling skills, and it may require more thought given to allied products being introduced into a sales process. Just think about it. Now, if your client's thinking about running a company and perhaps wanting to raise some capital, they've heard about early stage innovation companies or crowdsource funding, equity raising companies, or even Section 708 of the Corporations Act. Well, they need to improve their corporate skills, or most of them will, because they've probably never thought about it. They're a director, but what's that mean? But as they want to have more people involved, they're likely to run into more experienced directors, and they don't want to be embarrassed. They need to understand what everything means and to make sure they're abiding by the law. That's probably the most important point. So you could give them briefing on corporate governance, and there's material in ESS BizTools to assist you to do that. So would they like some assistance on improving corporate governance with their organisation? That might be the leadership team. Very important they understand what the law says. Has your client thought of assembling an advisory board? 2 or 3 or 4 business people. One should be you or their nominated CFO in your organisation that would sit down, I think monthly is the best time, not 3 monthly. Monthly, sit down, go through the financials, go through the reports, act as if you are a board of directors, but you're not. It's a board of advice. At the end of the day, it's still the client's decision. But what they're going to be getting is advice from experienced business people. And I think they should be paying for those services because it has to be on a business-like basis. And if they're not happy with the input, if the person or one of the persons appointed to the board of advice turns up and obviously hasn't read the material that's been forwarded to them, it should have been sent to them at least 72 hours before a meeting so they've had time to read it, to start thinking. And if they're not doing that, well, there should be no hesitation then. You're paying them good money to be on the board. If they're not doing it, you ask them to leave and you get someone else. What about government grants? There's all sorts of government grants out there, and in fact, 2 weeks ago a new grant was released called the Industry Growth Program. Now this grant comes in 2 components. The first component is really to help someone complete their research and development, get it to a virtually complete prototype. Grants of up to $250,000 on a 50-50 basis. And your clients interested in that? They need to be developing new products, processes or services. And there is some specific industry categories. But you've got the paper, or you can get the paper. It's on our website at present. And have a look at it. See which clients might fit. And there's also a special grant to really get them to a commercial ready status. So they've done everything. They're ready to start selling the product up to first commercial sale. And the grants range from $100,000 to $5 million on a 50-50 basis. But there's other grants as well. There's research and development, which is a tax rebate, but basically a grant. What about the personal property securities register? Is your client aware of that? A lot of the publicity's now died down, but there were some tremendous problems when this legislation was first introduced. People didn't understand it. People got caught. And unfortunately, people can still get caught by not going through the processes required to get protection under this legislation. You can take them through that. And what you're finding out here, of course, is what they know. I mentioned research and development just a moment ago. Does your client need more information on the research and development system? Export activities. Is your client an exporter? If their turnover is under $20 million per annum, irrespective as to whether they're a company, a trust, a sole trader or a partnership, they can obtain the Export Market Development Grant. The next round of applications is expected to be towards the end of 2024. You can get your client ready, take them through the process. Under the legislation, they might be able to raise over 3 or 4 years a total of $770,000 in government grants. So it could be worth looking at to help your clients. Do they need some assistance in the management of costs or risk reduction? Or do they need some help in raising capital? I briefly mentioned it before, but we've now got the opportunity, as long as they're a company, of raising capital. Do you think that is it? So this is some of the avenues that you could use this material contained in the SME Needs Analysis to have this very important conversation with a client. Take a phone call. Make an appointment. Say you're coming out for a cup of coffee. I think it's best to do it in their office, though, not your office. Go to their office, sit down, so they'll be more comfortable. They'll be relaxed. Clients tend to get nervous when they sit in our offices. Go and talk to them. Sit down and if it's a suitable hour of the day, you might have a glass of wine if that's what the client would like to do. Some clients like to do that because they get more relaxed. But the whole idea is to explore the opportunities on a financial advisory basis of what else they need to know about running their business. If you've got any questions on any aspect of how you would go about this approach to implementing the SME Needs Analysis approach, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or telephone me 1800 232 088. Stay safe. Have a great day.